Welcome to Top 5 Most Expensive Beers in the World.
5.
Sapporo Space Barley, Japan. People say, what's in a name? I will say, a lot. Anything this name suggests? Well, if you are still trying to guess the connection between a bottle of beer and space, then this beer may just leave you spaced out. In 2006, Japanese and Russian scientists had planted barley in the International Space Station. After 5 months, the fourth generation of the barley that grew was sent back to Earth, and the Japanese brewer Sapporo turned it into world's first space beer, and hence was created Sapporo Space Barley. This beer contains only barley and no additives. But the bad news is that Sapporo has made only 100 liters of this out-of-the-world beer, where 6 packs will cost you about $110.
4.
Samuel Adams Utopias, USA. First impression is truly the last impression. If looks could kill, a bottle of Samuel Adams Utopias fits the bill. It comes in a fancy copper bottle and costs $150 per bottle of 24 ounces. To create the rose, it was brewed using traditional ingredients including all the 4 types of noble hops for lending that slightly herbal taste. The mixture was then kept in barrels which are made for finer wines for more than 6 months. In fact, it has been declared as the world's most fiery beer. It contains ingredients that sets it apart from all other beers, including raisins, dry fruits, some port notes, a lot of sweetness, dark fruits, cherries, plums and slight tart cherry notes. It contains caramel and Vienna malts for its super rich amber color and texture. Again, only 3,000 such beers were brewed.
3.
Carlsberg Jacobsen Vintage No. 1, Denmark. Carlsberg Jacobsen Vintage No. 1 is sold exclusively in Denmark only. The Jacobsen brew house has always been talked about for the beers they have created, but this one was like their breakthrough creation. It was made in the vintage style of the brew house, by letting the brew mature in Swedish and French oak barrels in old wine cellars for 6 months along with the finest hops and caramel. It has only 600 bottles and is available in the finest dining restaurants in Denmark. The lucky ones who have tasted it suggested pairing it up with cheese and desserts. Each bottle of this beer is labeled with an original hand-stilled lithographic print made by Danish artist Frank Kanek. It comes at $400 per bottle of 375 ml. BrewDog End of History, Scotland. This comes across as the world's strongest and squirreliest beer ever. BrewDog's End of History comes in bottles encased in a dead stoat or squirrel, and they even have outfits. This ale was mixed with juniper berries and nettles from the Highlands of Scotland, and then was freezed and distilled for multiple times. Only 11 such bottles were made, thankfully. This one holds the credit for having the most unusual container of beer in history. Some found it adorable and cute, but most others found it repulsive. The price? $765 for a 330 ml bottle.
1.
Antarctic Nail Ale. The most expensive beer in the world comes at a whopping price tag of about $800 to $1,815 per bottle of 500 ml. The best part about this beer? All the profits go to the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, which featured on Discovery Channel's Whale Wars. Still wondering why this huge price? Well, because Antarctic Nail Ale was brewed with water from an iceberg in Antarctica, hence the name. The Sea Shepherds flew to Antarctica and dug up the ice, melted it in Tasmania, and then flew it again to Perth. The reason? They needed pristine crystal clear fresh water which is not available anywhere else in the world. Only 30 bottles were made, making it the most expensive beer ever.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.